Hello my friends, thank you for joining me at Evolutionary Energy Arts once again. So we're going to start off over in Britain, and we have an earthquake striking near Gatwick Airport, first reported in 250 years, and it shook houses. It wasn't a large earthquake, it's just that it's a very, very unusual area to get one. And you can see it's very, very close to London, and so quite a few people felt it. It was only a 2.6 on the Richter scale. It struck at a depth of about 5 kilometers at 12:30 p.m. And so just a curiosity, really, and we're seeing earthquakes in diverse places for sure. The other thing that we're seeing is really a lot of really odd cloud formations, incredible cloud formations, and this is a massive shelf cloud in Poland on June 25th. And look at that. What it looks like to me, if you guys ever remember any of the old monster movies they used to have, like the Godzilla ones and stuff, it's just like you expect that to be some sort of monster in there, gigantic thing going to come out. Just so weird and so ominous looking, and we're seeing these just bizarre cloud formations everywhere, along with incredibly intense severe weather, as we've been saying. And so check out this one. This one is labeled as being a mothership supercell, and this is in Kansas. That's just wow. I mean, what an amazing cloud formation there as well. And we know there was a tornado that struck, and a supercell did form. And just look at some of these photos, just amazing and ominous and intense. So surreal. It looks like they are works of art, like as if you were going to paint a picture of what the apocalypse would look like. And look at that beautiful shot with the lightning coming down. It's just incredible, those shades of purple. And I'll let you guys go ahead and play that video. And also they had some severe, some pretty good sized hail. And we know there was a lot of damage associated with that storm. Some rivers are so drug polluted the eels are high on cocaine. Okay? That's crazy, isn't it? Critically endangered eels hyped up on cocaine could have trouble making a 3,700-mile trip to mate and reproduce. New research is warning. And that's how polluted it is in some of our waterways. It's a sad situation. And so while many times I've said I don't believe so much in the man-influenced global warming, I do think that we have had a very horrible influence on the pollution and and the environment in general. And as I've stated many times, we're more like a parasite or a virus really upon the earth than something living in a symbiotic relationship with it. And all these pharmaceuticals that get flushed down the toilet one way or another, entering the water supply, and all the drugs, they stick around. They stick around, and they affect everything they come in contact with. It's really a very, very sad situation. And as it says here, the data shows a great presence of illicit drugs and their metabolites in surface waters worldwide. And that was stated by Anna Capaldo, a research biologist at the University of Naples, and the lead author of the study. She adds that water near densely populated cities is even worse, with some of the research showing particularly high concentrations in the Thames River near London's House of Parliament, and the Italian Amo River near Pisa, of the Leaning Tower of Pisa fame. So these poor eels are high on cocaine. And if you're eating them, or if you're eating fish that are exposed to these toxins, and you're getting exposed to them too. And it's just this cycle. It's part of the food chain. So is there a new volcano on Hawaii? And this has been brewing in my mind for a while, and this article basically states it. So really what's happening at Fissure 8, which is the most active one, is that really what we have is the formation of a new volcano basically being made. And we could see that there is a building crater, as you can see here, at Fissure 8, and it's a very substantial, prominent feature, at the cone being about 200 feet high. And it's one that, as it says here, is likely to endure for thousands of years unless it's obliterated by later or more violent volcanic activity. And when we're talking about Hawaii and talking about the volcanic activity, there's been a lot of interesting things. And here you can see this was where the earthquake was in the UK, and we had that other unusual earthquake up in Sweden, and there was another one in Sweden a few days earlier as well. And so if we shift over and let's look at what's going on over here in the Pacific, one of the things that hit me was all this activity in Alaska. So much activity in Alaska going on right now, lots of swarming, and very curious that so many of these earthquakes are at 0.0 kilometers. Many of them are very small, but just wondering what's up with that. Is it a computer glitch going on, or are we trying to indicate some sort of magma flow? 0.1. And we can just see there's like an awful lot of swarming going on right now in Alaska, also in western US, as we've seen before. And there's one over here that caught my eye as well. It's a 1.6, so it's not big, but it's 15 kilometers east-southeast of Soda Springs, Idaho. So this is towards the lower part of the Yellowstone area, and it's at negative 3.3 kilometers. So that's up around 10,000 feet. And when I look at that position, we can see where it is. You can see Yellowstone National Park up here. So this is kind of how the magma travels, going up from the superplume that starts all the way down by Baja, California, and goes on up through California, through Nevada, through Utah, and up into Idaho and up into Wyoming. And so this is on that path, and that is at a pretty high level, so just curious as to whether that is some magma flow going on there. And as we know, Yellowstone is something that is always got to be taken seriously. So this is over in West Virginia, and this is a rock slide that came down with these massive boulders, some of which are as big as 15 feet tall and 10 feet wide. It's a good thing there was no cars going by when those came down, and this blocked off Route 60 near Huntington in West Virginia. So big rock slide there, and that is following up on periods of great rain and flooding in the area, which loosens that up. So children evacuated from a summer camp, and this is in Poland and the Ukraine, because of snow. So this happened on June 24th. In the Ukraine, 27 children had to be rescued from summer camp by emergency crews as they had snowfall. And as we can see, the grand solar minimum is in full effect, and we're just getting started there. So the weather's going to be getting much colder, as we've been saying, and all this is going to equal a lot of crop losses, which is going to raise up food prices and give us food shortages as well. And this is talking about Kenyan farmers counting their losses as the weather shifts from one extreme to the other. And that's what we got. We got these crazy, wild shifts in weather, just going from massive flooding, then you have record cold, record heat. The worst affected are the potato and tomato farmers, as two crops are highly sensitive to weather changes, especially when grown in the open field. many parts of the East African nation are currently experiencing an unusually cold weather season. The cold weather has followed a season of more than normal rainfall. Yeah, so they had tremendous flooding, and now they have abnormally cold weather in Kenya, and this is in Africa. In the past years, cold weather affected mainly Nairobi, central and parts of the Rift Valley, as we're talking about, because that's the area that is actually separating, and at some point Africa will be split into two. And the extreme weather conditions have led to a rise in diseases. That's another thing that happens, and that includes blight, bacterial wilt, and root knot nematodes affecting production. And more pests as well, like whiteflies, caterpillars, and aphids have been found, compounding the problems. And so, this is something that we're going to be facing, and we have to prepare for on a global scale. And in India, we have monsoons again unleashing deadly flooding in Mumbai, downpours reaching New Delhi, and it is monsoon season, but everything is definitely more intense than usual. As you can see, the cars buried in mud. And just a quick revisit of what was going on yesterday in Greece, as I've just seen so many of these videos. And just, this is not a river, this is a street. And it's pretty insane what we're seeing there. The flooding in Greece was just incredible, and this is one I showed you last night, just to revisit it. Again, these are streets, this is a city. And look at that flooding. It's just incredible. And over here again. As the flooding washes out into the sea. And it takes that car with it. So just incredible weather we have been seeing, my friends. And stay safe out there, stay prepared. It really doesn't seem to matter where we are, because we're seeing crazy weather, crazy cloud formation, crazy events, no matter where we're located, and it's on every part of the globe. And so this is our new norm, for a while anyway, as we transition from, one age into another age. And it's definitely a wild ride. So stay safe out there, my friends. Make sure to thumbs up as always to support the channel. Please do go ahead and join us and subscribe and click the bell so you get all the updates. Become part of our growing family and share with as many people as possible. May you guys always be blessed with abundant love, peace, health, and happiness, and be kept safe always. Namaste and God bless, my friends.